the Sunday edition.
What's up?
The Sunday Posse edition.
Welcome to Inkpulp Live. We've got a whole crew here today.
We're crewing.
Yeah. We have friends of the Inkpulp family. well, Eric's part of the Inkpulp family. We have a friend of the Inkpulp family, Jason Shawn.
I thought I got demoted. Did you hear that, Jamie?
I got it, Eric.
I'm just having to adjust my mind. You've been gone so long. Having to readjust.
That's a dig, I think.
That's a dig. That's a dig, yeah.
You've been gone
You
for
abandoned
so
us.
long.
We didn't abandon you. Don't put it on me.
Oh shit.
You've been gone for so long, you guys.
Shots fired. All right, welcome to the show. let's get some energy going. A stylish nerd, have you been waiting on this for an hour? Some of you look like you've been waiting on here for an hour. Due back deliveries, I appreciate you. Much love. Thank you for backing the Kickstarter.
Hell yeah.
We're all in our underwear. This is the underwear episode.
Yes.
And
Jason Shawn in his underwear in LA, Jazzy Jamie in Scotland.
Always
introducing people, or are we just live? Do you do the whole thing now? Do you still do? It's been a while, Shawn. I've abandoned the show, as you know. Do you still do the thing where you walk through the entire, roster of the people who are on? Do we say joining us today is the amazing, the well-respected?
Yeah. Oh yeah, you do it.
The guy who's punching way
adjectives.
below. By hanging out with us, he's punching way below his weight class. Mr. Jason Shawn Alexander, welcome. Jason, how are you, man?
That was very kind. You guys, the goal is to be able to hang out with you guys, so this is nice.
It's the other way around, pal. I think it's the other way around. We'll talk about your Zoop campaign in a little bit as soon as we get all warmed up. And Shawn has barely stuck the key in the hole as far as the ignition is concerned. He's just choking the hell out of it.
Getting some innuendos flying early in the show here.
Oh, you read that, did you? All right, and the guy who's at the control board, basically the head of Voltron, Black Lion himself, Jamie Wood. Hello, Jamie.
Black Lion.
That's the best compliment I've ever received, Eric. I'll take that.
You'll form the head, Jamie. All right, so and the guy who I think kind of holds it all together by way of class. Calm down, Shawn. Don't step forward too fast. The guy who holds it all together.
I never thought you were talking about me
by way of class and by just in accolades and accomplishments. The guy who I see, there is no off button to his hustle. Mr. Jim Mahfood. Good afternoon, Jim.
Oh shit. Thank you so much. He-Man Part 2, Masters of the Universe Part 2, guys. Nice. We can't escape.
And then finally, there's Shawn. What can we say about Shawn? So we won't say anything. We'll just say there's Shawn. He exists. He's got a microphone to his face.
He exists.
It works. He turned the right buttons on, brought this whole crew together and said, good luck, you guys. Actually, we're also going to end up talking about Shawn's last day. Shawn, am I misrepresenting this? This is your last day of your campaign.
No. Last week starts today.
Damn it. I wish it was the last day. Anyway, it's the last week, so you got about 7 days to. Here's what I'm saying. Like it's been a whole month's worth, 21 days worth of you just consistently pimping the hell out of this book. So you can imagine why I'm hoping that this was the last day, but we got 7 more days of your deluge.
No, you got to deal with me more. There's more of me. More
7 more days. Jamie, how's that doing, by the way? Do you have that locked and loaded there? We can take a look at the campaign for the time being real quick.
Yeah, Jamie, let's show all the stuff that we have set up for the show.
Nice.
All right. I protest the fact that Jamie is showing this in British pounds. Jamie.
Don't be racist, Eric. There we go. You can figure it out.
We found our freedom away from your kind. Can you please show it?
That's the best I can do. That's the best I can do for
you. Anyway, here we are, Shawn. Talk us through the campaign, man. We got 7 days.
All right, so we're heading into the final week, guys. Thank you all for being so supportive over the past 3 weeks. We got some big things coming this week. We ignore the pounds. We're about $1,000 away from the next stretch goal, which is Jamie, you want to pull up the Prince image real quick? All right, so the next stretch goal is, these are the 10 by 10 prints I'm making, but the next stretch goal is everyone gets a set of these as stickers for free.
Nice.
Now,
Nice.
the prints come with, these are all 10 by 10, and I did that on purpose. They're a square like a record. So, of course, all records come with a record sleeve. So these prints are going to come in a nice Keep Craft Alive record sleeve type envelope. So those prints will be nice. Now, if we can get up to the 35K stretch goal, everyone who's pledged at this level of the prints and above will get a free printed copy of Inkpulp Cyan, my sketchbook, which is not overlapped the art book at all. It's all different art, but it's just sketches. So if we can get up to 35K, everyone's who's pledged above the at the print level or higher will get that sketchbook for free. So maybe up your pledge today. Also, I'm releasing. I created a special tier for when I was on the Comic Art Fans show last week, but I've got 4 slots left of a painted sketch card commission character of your choice, and for $300 you get the book and the sketch card. So that would also make you eligible for the free printed magenta if we get to our stretch goal. So this is an example of one of the painted sketch cards. This is a thing I did on Comic Art Fans Live last week. And so if that piques your interest, you can up
you drew
your
that?
pledge. Yeah. Can you believe that?
Believable.
You can up your pledge if you want. Just cancel your pledge and go for that one if you want an original piece of art.
Those are
Thank
pretty.
you, Joe.
Those are pretty.
Thank you, sir. In fact, I'm going to work on a sketch card today. And so that's all the jazz with my Kickstarter. No, the big announcement. I haven't even announced this yet. Jamie, you want to pull up the big secret announcement stuff? This tomorrow the internet will be flooded with this, but we are printing issue 0 of Mateo's creator-owned comic, The Fourth Father. This is the first 20 pages of his 5-issue creator-owned series, and it's going to be in a floppy format. And everyone who pledges for a physical copy of my art book and my Kickstarter will get one of these for free. It's not a stretch goal. It's automatically happening. So spread the word. Anyone who wants this nice little collector's item and wants a good preview of Mateo's book, and Jim and I have read this, and it's actually good, if you can believe it. It's not just pretty. It's not just pretty.
Good shit.
It's not just pretty. It's good. It's damn impressive, is what it is. It's a really impressive book. But everyone who's pledged for a physical copy will get this. And we've got another big surprise. The Arachnid Enforcer preview. This is going to be a PDF that everyone's going to get, whether you pledged physical copy or not. If you got the digital copies, you'll get one of these too. Jim, do you want to explain what will go in this PDF?
Yes, couple interior pages, some sketchbook material, and who knows what else. A little preview, just a little preview, a little teaser.
It's going to be a nice, as only Jim can do, a unique, fun, creatively explosive preview PDF. So those are 2 things you're going to get just for, and even if you got a physical copy, you'll get a link to download this PDF too. So these are just 2 things that the Inkpulp fam is bringing you for backing one of our Kickstarter projects. This time it's my Inkpulp Cyan book. So if you know anyone who hasn't gotten in on the Kickstarter and might like a copy of Mateo's book and my art book and all that jazz, let them know. And because I'm going to start, this is what this week is about, letting people know there's these all these cool new things coming out. Think about a painted sketch
8
card.
days left. Just get on it.
8 days left.
Gosh. Dude, that looks amazing. I'll be pledging tomorrow.
Oh, thank you, Jay. I appreciate it.
I've had some obnoxious dealings with Kickstarter, just as far as like I log in and just silly things about accounts and all that, and I haven't been able to do Kickstarter in a long time. And then finally, he's like, yours and Jim's and all of that. I'm like, I need to fix this shit. So I finally fixed it, and now I can actually support.
Oh, awesome. Awesome. And yeah, don't forget Inkpulp community. You guys get a $10 discount on the book just for being part of this community with my secret link here. And if you want to get that sketch card, that's only for you guys in the CAF community too. So that's another secret link. So the public cannot see these reward tiers. They're just for you guys.
Oh,
when
awesome.
are they shipping out? So I am getting my proofs for everything tomorrow. I'll probably post images of that when I get them. And I'm going to order these as soon as I see these proofs and everything looks good. So hopefully I'll order them tomorrow or the next day before this campaign's even over. I'm going to place the order because we've met the goal. But they're coming from China. So I think I put on the Kickstarter shipping will be by October, but it should be earlier than that. It just depends on the ships getting the books over here. And once they're here, I've got a whole plan to get them out quickly and easily. Yes, Michael, I'm spoiling you because you guys are awesome and also supportive. So yeah, please back it. Because like that issue 0 of Mateo's book, we're only printing a certain amount, and when they're gone, they're gone. So if you want to lock in one, I would recommend you get in on the thing now in the Kickstarter. I think that's all about my Kickstarter. But we've got another Kickstarter. We've got 2 other crowdfunding projects we need to talk about today. So I don't want to take up everyone's time because
is Jamie doing one or
no? Jim's got the pre-launch page.
Oh, okay.
Guys, pre-launch for the second installment of my weird superhero parody universe. Defective Comics presents the Arachnid Enforcer, 48 pages of destructive superhero in your face, smashing you in your face, the base in your face. Halloween Spooktacular one-shot launches October 1st on Kickstarter. If you liked Savage Street Vigilante, you're going to love this baby. Please sign up for the pre-launch and we'll get those numbers popping and a community partying together.
And when you guys get the preview of this and the preview Mateo's issue 0, there'll be QR codes in that. So please make sure when you get that, if you haven't already, go sign up for the pre-launch page. Those numbers are really important.
Let's do it. This is the project I'm currently working on right now. So
the cover's fantastic.
Oh, thanks, man. Thank you.
Dude, those great colors too.
Thanks. I'm just doing all my own shit at this point.
Nice.
I learned from hanging out with you, Jason. I learned from you.
I want that as a poster. I need that as a poster in my room.
I can provide that. In LA, dude, when we were drinking all that whiskey, I actually learned some things.
I need one of these for my son's room.
Okay, cool. Yeah,
dude, that's really cool.
I saw a quick blurb about where this thing is, the time frame. Excuse me, the whatever when the story is going to be told. Why is the mid-1980s something that you sort of focused on?
That's just an homage to my favorite era of comics, Dark Knight Returns and Electro Assassin and Watchmen. So Savage Street Vigilante took place also in 86. And that way, honestly, Eric, I don't want to do stories where characters are using the internet or cell phones.
Right.
It's a small little detail, but I actually love writing and drawing stories where it's just there's no technology reliance or easy cheats with just look it up on the internet or call this person's cell phone. It's no, it doesn't.
Yeah, I like that.
And also, Eric, the other part of the Arachnid Enforcer, I want to draw up characters with Jerry curls and 80s like Michael Jackson music video.
That's not 80s dependent, but I like the fact that you threw him back into the 80s. You're like, you know what? I get to. People can still do that today. You know, that's not banned by any means.
I want like studded leather jackets and stuff. You know,
that's awesome. It is a pretty magical era for those of us who lived in it, especially when you have an opportunity to contrast to what we're living through now. You know, it's pretty cool. There's so many things that were still undiscovered. And then as far as comics were concerned, that's when, for me, I think similar for you, Jim, I was just picking up book after book and getting my mind blown to be like, oh my gosh, they made this book. You know, I didn't quite understand Electro Assassin back in the day, right?
Right.
So to read it a decade later and to be like, oh my gosh, this was just a prime era of anything goes, and it was mainstream comics. It wasn't even some offshoot, you know, independent title, right? Some weird label. It was coming right out of Marvel. So that's awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's the flavor of comics I still want to inject in my work without being like retro about it. Like I don't want it to be a crutch of retro, but I want that energy, like that excitement and experimental fun.
For sure. You definitely got it in your last book. I have no doubt you'll do it in your next one.
Thanks, man. Yeah, I'm having a blast. I'm deep in it. I mean, I'm only in the first 10 pages, but I'm deep into like, oh shit, I'm layouts, penciling, like I'm making a comic book. It's very
that's so cool, man.
It takes over your life. It takes over your life. It's, you know.
That's a pretty funny statement, though. Oh, I'm making a comic book.
Yeah, well, it's almost like, oh shit, am I ready for this? Am I okay? Here we go.
We're doing this.
These are great.
So, yeah, gonna be fun. I'll have more to show through the PDF that I'm giving away through Shawn's Kickstarter, if that makes sense.
Look at all of your cool friends helping you out, Shawn.
I know. I do have very cool friends.
Would you say that you were undeserving, not very deserving, not at all?
I am not deserving of this at all, Eric.
Just making sure.
This is how it works when you crowdfund, though. You gotta ask everybody for stuff. You know.
Somebody said that they got Mateo's Mr. Freeze book due to my enthusiasm. I'm sorry, and you're welcome, I guess, simultaneously. You know? So, good luck justifying that purchase to yourself much later rather than eating with the money. Good luck.
All right, we are very lucky today to have our good friend and incredible artist Jason Shawn with us. Yeah. Let's not forget Jason's got something popping off too.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
I want to talk about this.
I really do. So here's the thing. When I'm sitting next to Shawn, it's like, hey, I'm sitting next to Shawn and he happens to be drawing, right? Oh, that's pretty cool. You know, when I'm sitting with Jim, Jim, have you and I ever sat next to each other? I think by design, you've always asked, get me as far away from those essential sequential guys, as far away from like they suck all the air out of the room. I've got my own thing going, you know.
Right,
we've never sat close to each other, right? You've always sort of actively tried to stay away from us, which I respect you for 100%.
Yeah, you missed New York last year. I actually was right next to Essential.
Oh, which was now that was by design on my behalf to not go to New York. So thank you very much.
Yeah.
Okay, so here's the thing. like when Jim and I, so there's a version of Jim that is when we're hanging out, we're having a drink, we're having a meal. He's that version of Jim Mahfood. But when Jim gets into a convention, he turns into like the freaking Optimus Prime version of himself. You know what I mean? Like leading the way, setting the example, setting a very, very high bar as far as hustle is concerned and just engaging. I don't think I've ever seen you sat down. And if you did, I know like, oh, he's sick. He caught a bug or something because you are on complete hustle mode. So much due respect. I had an opportunity to sit next to JSA, and I call him JSA for a reason because he's like the Justice Society of America for me.
Oh, yeah.
I've sat one time next to JSA, and it is the most humbling. See, here's the thing. Jason's slumming it with the rest of us, you know, in the best way possible. I think he realizes he's got to, you know, his feet has to touch the same mortal soil as everybody else, right? But this guy is a legit illustrator, painter, creative force. And once in a while, he'll come and slum it up with us comic book guys. And when he slums it up, you can tell he doesn't do it well, because there's this project. There's a project called Scrooge, and we're about to look through it, and you can witness it for yourself how his slumming is nowhere near achievable to plebs like us. So here we go. It's on Zoop.
It's on Zoop. It's got a weird website. Zoop GG or something like that. But the link is everywhere on my socials and all of that. This is a 200-page hardcover, 10 by 10 of Scrooge. It's the original Dickens text, and there's 85 illustrations by me.
Yeah.
It's like an adult children's book, so it's like a page of text and an illustration all through.
It's so good. It's so good.
It's
We
really
checked this out
beautiful, Jay.
last week, Shawn. We had it on show.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And oh my gosh, man, this is so great. There's a little bit of backstory to this, isn't there, Jason? That you had produced this for something. Am I misrepresenting that?
No, I did all of these in pen and ink 25 years ago, and for an abridged kids book. Mm-hmm. And it never got published, and then the company got sold. Mm-hmm. And then that was kind of it. And so 25 years later, my wife kind of discovers the artwork and asks what this was. But then inevitably, my first thing was thinking of a cash grab because I'm exhausted. And so I just thought we could take this artwork and then just publish our own, newsprint cheap book of Scrooge.
Yeah.
And I was like, yeah, money. And then I started putting the book together. And then as we do, I'm like, oh, that drawing, I'm going to fix that knee, or I'm going to fix that face. And then wouldn't it be cool though if I put like this behind it? And then, shit. And then, so then it became like, I was like, there's only going to be one time in my life. I really love this story, and I'm never going to do this again. And so I'm like, I want to do it the best I possibly can. So, okay, let's take some time. So it's been this year, since January, I've really been jumping in and redrawing and reworking all of this. But it was important to not just completely do what I do, which, with photo reference and all of that. This book has also been a really fantastic exercise in just freehand drawing and cartooning for me.
Yeah.
It's something I want to incorporate in my work again a lot more. And I think this has just been, it's like having a conversation with yourself, with your 25-year-old self. It's been, I know I've used that metaphor before, but I'm like, I look at this and I'm like, hey, look at you. You were into Nicholas DeCracy at the time. You were doing this. And I'm like, well, look what I can do now. I was like, look, you're stiff here, but I'm not stiff anymore.
Right. Was it in sort of some kind of technical limbo, or some kind of like legal limbo in the time that the company went down versus you rediscovering them? What was it? Or did all rights return to you for the images themselves? And it, like you said, your wife had just kind of found it and said, hey, let's resurrect this thing.
Yeah, the company had gone under, and then there was no publication or for the people that did pick it up, there was no there was nothing being published of these. And even after 25 years, I've still been like a little nervous, and so that's where it was important. I was like, it kind of helped justify my, like, you know what, I'm just gonna rework all these. So I'm gonna make sure like this book is vastly different, and but that said, like, there's even the some of the original 25-year-old illustrations available at the Zoop, along with sketch cards, and there's going to be a print set, and then I think there's going to be future print sets for stretch goals and enamel pins. And
amazing.
Technically, the work is just breathtaking.
October, November. Guys, one of the questions we get is like, or people are asking like, why Christmas? Christmas in June. But I was like, that this allows it to come out by late October or November, so you'll actually have it for the holiday.
That's right. That's great, man.
That's perfect.
Yeah,
Hey,
I'm so excited. I wanted to do this book for forever.
Well, it looks like it had sort of this. I mean, you want to talk about a Christmas miracle? It got kind of put in the backlog somewhere, right? In your flat files, potentially. You discover it, and now you're like, actually, I still have an enthusiasm for it. Oftentimes, and I don't know if the other artists in the room, other creators in the room can attest to this, but there are plenty of times when I see old comic book projects that I've kind of put in the back burner, thinking I'll eventually get back to them, finally get a chance to review them again and go like, this will never see the light of day. I will burn this with fire. But not you. You were like, dude, still good, right? Still relevant. I only need to add 25% more sugar to it, and then it gets that much more sweet, right? And so you were like, let's give this a new life. You know, oh, by the way, before I lose track, Jamie, I think, is trying to campaign for being an animator, because all I saw during the time that Shawn was talking was like the circling cursor over the part that's important. Jamie's like, I can do this too, you guys. You know, I can scroll up and down and make circles with my cursor. So add on another 10% to my fee. I saw it. Respect to Jamie for making sure we were paying attention to the right bits. Anyway, Jason, this is freaking awesome. I'm glad that you're bringing it up. I have been trying to find a way to remember how to go to support this, so I'm going to go do it right now, pal.
Oh, thank you.
And the rest of you should too. You bunch of Jason Shawn Alexander supporters. Yeesh.
Because if you haven't read the original version, it's really beautiful. It's very haunting. No pun intended.
That's amazing. Oh, so as you were saying earlier, it's verbatim, right? I wanted to follow up on that. Is it sort of is the story in the public space now?
Yes.
Oh, okay, that's great. Because I was going to say we're in trouble if it's not. I mean, by we, I mean you. You know, you're in so much trouble.
No, I really did want to use, because rereading it to get back into the story, I was like, oh, this is beautiful, and I've really enjoyed making. Yeah, I'm hoping like I'm gonna gush over it, but like, yeah, I really hope like as you're like going through it, the emotion of the illustrations really match what's going on. But yeah, man. So yeah, I'm not great with the crowd. I'm learning with the crowdfunding stuff, and Zoop has been awesome. So they're gonna make sure the stuff actually ships on time. So yay fulfillment companies.
And Jay, are you involved with the book design at all on this?
I mean, I'm working with the graphic designer. Yeah.
Oh, awesome. Is this going to be a hardcover, a soft cover?
Hardcover.
And like, how big? Do you know how big it's going to be or anything like that?
Didn't he say the original measurement 10 by 10 or something?
10 by 10.
Yeah.
Oh, the same as me. All right.
He said, "Screw you, Shawn. I got your 10 by 10."
I got your 10. Yeah, same thing with I think the prints. I think they're 10 by 10 as well.
Oh, there's an original art tier. Holy cow.
You know what? I'll tell you what. You could fit Jason's prints and my prints in the 10 by 10 print sleeve for my campaign and keep them all safe until you frame them.
You could.
There you go.
Ask yourself if you should. You know, like one is telling an old school classic Christmas haunting story, and one of them, I don't know what you're doing, Shawn, but there's something in there. Still worth buying. I'm just saying, maybe not in the same package. You know. All right. Can I follow up on something with everybody who's crowdfunding right now? Like, Jason just said something pretty interesting, which is like, you're not used to the crowdfunding part. Did I capture that well, Jay?
Yeah.
How about the rest of you guys? What's the thing that, when this is not necessarily your first crowdfunding, Shawn, right? This is your third?
No, I mean, I crowdfunded with Jason like a couple times, but didn't know what I was doing.
Yeah, but that was hands off for you, right?
No,
in a way.
No, I was very hands on with the last one. We did, but I didn't know what I was doing. Like, I feel like I have a much better idea now.
And then Jim, this got to be your fourth. It's got to be your 10th. What's the number?
I did the pop-up book with my buddy Ross in 2020. Savage Street Vigilante was my very first solo project, and Arachnid Enforcer will be my third, but my second comic book project.
Okay. Let me ask you, what's the one thing in your best level of research you could have never predicted for? Like, oh, that's really super surprising. I've never thought about it from that angle before. I've got to start incorporating that into my game plan. Something that right out the box, you're like, I could have predicted that.
Just the fan art and the fan involvement with the project.
Oh, wow. Talk more about that. What does that mean?
Getting, well, just creating a character. I mean, creating the idea of like, I'm making a book about Batman with a chainsaw, and then that catching on and getting fan art and interpretations of that from all over the world. Like that, I was not expecting
that was mind blowing.
So that level of involvement was a surprise, but it's also people want to have something they recognize in things. So the parody books are super fun to do. They're kind of a cheat though, because you're building off what people already know. So it for me, I mean, I could do my own superhero comic book, but I don't think it would do as well as the parody thing. Just seems to
do you think so? Do you think you believe that, Jim?
I was gonna say, but also, do you even have an interest in that, Jim? You know what I mean? Like, are you even interested in doing the non-parody version of a superhero comic book?
I mean, it depends. I would have to think about that, but for me, it was just getting this out of my system of like, let me just make my Batman book, man. DC's not going to hire me to do it, so I'm just going to make mine. So it was fun as hell to do it. And not have to answer to anyone or, get approval over anything.
Right.
What about you, Shawn? Something that surprised you, either through the campaign or just like as Jim said, like the fan feedback of the whole thing?
Shawn, just before you start, can you zoom your camera out? We can't see what you're doing.
Oh, sorry.
Just do the corner. That's the best part, Shawn. Nobody. Oh, okay.
Don't worry. I'm gonna have a new setup soon. So there we go. Mr.
What is this camera, Shawn?
This is my 4K Sony camcorder.
Fancy pants. All right, go ahead.
Yeah.
Good catch, Jamie.
Yeah, hold on. There we go. Okay. I was blown away by the support I got from my good friends, from Jim, Mateo, and you, Eric, and Jamie.
Nope, don't include me in there. I've yet to support you. Don't throw me in.
No, you've been very supportive. I was pretty blown away by that, like on the launch day. But I was also just blown away by the enthusiasm, support, and excitement of the Inkpulp community for this. I guess I wasn't sure, like, how would an art book do in this environment? Because we're always talking about creator-owned comics and independent comics here, and people doing Kickstarters for that. And basically, this audience, in the Inkpulp community, is kind of new to my work. I'm pretty sure, and I didn't know.
You think so?
Yeah, because before we were building this, like my the follower count I had was much, like, dramatically lower. It was a lot lower, and
by design, we didn't have you're like, get out of here, you bunch of people.
No.
No. All right, sorry. All right, continue. Go ahead.
But so I wasn't sure, like, is an art book, like, do they just want comics? How would an art book do? But I also felt strongly like this is the time to be releasing like a book about craft, because all we're seeing is like all this AI stuff and all these shortcuts. And I was like, this is kind of a really great time to be like doubling down on something that really represents the craft. And how an artist works and their thought processes, the tools they use, and all the stuff I love talking about. Right now, watching Jason draw is fucking incredible.
Yeah, it's distracting. Like, I literally heard maybe two things that you said. I heard craft and something junk, and then I just stopped paying attention.
But speaking of craft, I mean, we get to watch this. Like, this is pure craft.
Like, I wanted to comment on it. Like, the one of the greatest parts about being present when looking at Jim's originals, and sometimes getting a chance to watch him draw is we just know, like, he takes a parallel pen, which is not necessarily the way I grew up, learning the tools of the trade, quote unquote, right? I'd never see a parallel pen being used to, like, produce images or produce sort of like comics even, And so that was refreshingly shocking in the best way possible. And if just 2 seconds ago, Jason was like, I don't know what that is. I think that's like a marker for poster boards. Like if you want to make signs for the NFL, crowd or whatever, that's the thickness of the marker. But he's just like cranking away at it. Shawn's got a more, how would you say, Shawn? You've kind of broken away from the traditional tool stuff, but you're certainly applying a lot more to your repertoire than what you had previous, right?
What do you mean I've broken away from the traditional tool stuff?
Well, you were between you and Mateo, you guys pretty much keep the sable hair industry in business. Like you guys go into every store and just empty them out, right? There's a particular ink that you get.
I still live by my sable brush. I've added a few things to the repertoire,
but that's what I'm talking about, right?
It's still like 80% sable at least. But I mean, Jim's got me messing with the parallel pen and some chisel point tips. That's bringing something nice to my work. I'm enjoying the stamps. So you guys have all been asking about the stamps. You can kind of see it on the board here, like all this this stuff. Shawn gave me those. I remember he was talking about making them, and he gave me a set of these. So those have been fun to add to the work, and some nibs. I guess I've always tried to incorporate nibs in my work and never really got a feel for it, but I think I'm starting to.
Really? You never been you're a brush guy, not a quill.
Yeah. I mean, it's just I felt like I was getting everything from the brush, and drawing with metal, I just felt like I didn't know what I was doing.
As much
I had the polar opposite.
Go ahead, man. You guys talk.
When I started learning from videos and shit of McFarlane. So he used those terrible Hunt's mapping point quills, but that's what I learned to ink with, and I got used to like edges and all of that. And every time I picked up a brush, it's all a very different story now. But like every time I picked up a brush, then I couldn't not look like Jack Kirby. Everything was just swooshy and soft, and I could not get an edge, and I'm like, God damn it. But then I graduated to like gelots and really flexible nibs, and that's still my favorite. I love the parallel pen, but my favorite thing are just beautiful quills.
Yeah. Let me say this first, right? What Jason is basically saying is, as much as he was trash with a brush, he's still as good as Jack Kirby. I think that's what, if you really boil it down to what he's trying to say. I think that's what it comes. I believe it. I respect it. I like the fact that you set your sights very high, and you not just meet it but exceed it. Shoot for space.
I should have given the context that I wasn't a fan at the time of Jack Kirby. So to me, that was a bad thing. But now,
when was this, Jason?
That was yesterday. I think that was.
when was the period of you not like appreciating Kirby?
Oh, up until maybe 5 years ago, 7 years ago.
So you were hanging out with Jim, not appreciating Kirby. Jim, how were you dealing with it?
No, I mean I converted him. I feel like
the more he was rubbing down that zip tone, as soon as he heard, he was like, he's not a fan of Kirby until now.
Oh, all right. So Jim is the reason that Jason learned to appreciate Kirby.
I probably helped.
I appreciated Kirby.
Yeah.
It just wasn't my cup of tea. Yeah.
I got you.
Wait, so let me go back to what I really wanted to address before I started busting Jason's chops. And the reason why I brought up Shawn trying out new things is, I think in the most recent time, Shawn, this is going to be a compliment. So on June 22nd, 2:41 p.m. Pacific time, a while ago, Shawn had sort of gotten himself into this process of like, this is the stuff that I do, right? And defined by half a dozen things when it comes to his body of work. Only recently, and by recent, I mean like the past 5 years or so, have you really tried going outside your sort of wheelhouse on stuff that's worked?
Yes.
Now, I'm not saying you abandoned all the things that you've been doing that were successful for you, but in recent times, recent again, by the way, of 5 years, you've really been trying to be like, you know what? Let me get out of my comfort zone. Let me try applying this. Even if you knew, hey, this isn't working, I can always just omit it later. But I think it's a whole different mental perspective for you. Right.
Yeah, absolutely.
Trying new things out, right?
Absolutely.
Not
Yeah.
just that, but also committing to it. I think that's the key, right? In the
I
past,
think
you,
that's
you
what I
had always
wasn't
been
doing
open to
before.
try it. Yeah.
Yeah,
Go ahead.
but
Talk on
the
that.
minute it didn't feel right, I just
Right.
abandoned it. Now I'm like, all right, I need to spend more time with this.
What was the thing? What was the thing that eventually made you go, okay, wait, I'm not giving it my 100% effort, right?
There was a few things. It was learning to paint during COVID kind of opened my mind. Like I took on something I was very uncomfortable with and got better with it. And that was that. And then also I noticed my work got better across the board. And that's when I kind of realized I've been holding myself back by not experimenting like I used to.
Yeah.
And also just feeling like, I've like people knew, like when I was doing my one thing, like my brush work only, and like I feel like I had reached I don't want to say the end of that road, but I needed more in the work to kind of create something that's a little fresher. That's a good way of putting it. Felt a little fresher.
Yeah.
And also just, it was honestly a big part of it was meeting Jim and getting close with Jim and watching him work and just seeing how he's got such a playful way of doing things. And there's so much spontaneity and fresh energy in his work. I was
The
like,
freshness, the freshness.
the go-go freshness. I was like, I need to learn from this.
Go-Go Freshness sounds like a douche application. You know what I mean?
That's our next line of products. That's our.
Yeah. When this whole Kickstarter thing falls apart for art books and comics, man, we're just gonna go into women's products and say call it a day.
Dude, speaking of products, Jason, Shawn, are you releasing the halftone blocks as a product, or is that just a
Yes
test thing?
There's a chance. Should be also like around November.
Oh,
Nice.
The like it's kind of they kind of come in and out of my orbit. So and it's I have a billion other projects, but it's when Shawn was kind enough to post that thing not long ago, like that interest really kind of woke me back up, and then my assistant saw it, and he's an artist as well, and he got excited. So now we're actually moving forward.
Cool.
So we'll have something. We'll have something
that's
available. Awesome. I think October, November.
That's awesome.
Awesome.
All right, now that I've blown enough sunshine up your butt, Shawn, I do remember when you said, "Hey, Jason gave this to his friends at New York Comic Con." Do you remember when you said that?
Yeah, I do.
And I reflected on that very briefly, just so I did briefly because I didn't want my feelings to get hurt. But I remember distinctly thinking to myself, like, "Oh, I remember being that guy's friend."
Yeah,
were you there? I don't think you were.
You stopped going. No, Eric wasn't even there. He stopped going to New York Comic Con. Don't put this on Jason.
Let's focus on the
this
friends
is on
part.
you.
You know what I mean? Friendship does not require attendance, is what I'm getting at. Like friendship is not just because I'm present. Otherwise you and I wouldn't be friends, Shawn.
So you're saying you expected Jason to ship you some?
My expectation was for us to be friends and for me to be considered in the cool Zipatone dot club.
You were. I had an envelope for you, but you weren't in New York.
Oh, okay. I gotta show up to that show to get an envelope from Jazz.
There was genuinely a couple of envelopes that still had to come home with me from people that didn't show up at the show. But yes, you were one, sir.
I added to your
because we had already done Memphis together at that point. We had already done that Memphis show and had a good time together.
Oh, that's never been. Yeah, I love Eric.
That's very nice. That's for the record, ladies and gentlemen. Also, I want to backtrack. Jim is doing a Batman because I'm like, I'm so afraid. And I think that's the most operative word. I'm so afraid of stepping on that friggin' landmine when somebody gets a knot in their butt and be like, Jim, you can't do these comics, He's doing a Batman for those people who are listening in the most litigious attitudes of like what we can and cannot do. So I'm excited for your book, Jim, is what I'm getting at. Let's not.
Thank you.
I don't want you to get in trouble.
Parody laws stretch far.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, I think it's enough off model, off character that we'll see. I can't think about it because I'm too far deep into it at this point.
You're
So
God
also-
damn
it, Eric.
In such a way that you've moved on to, right? You moved on to the other thing that could potentially be a legal landmine. So I'm excited for that.
That's what I'm talking about. Yeah, I mean the Street Vigilante I'm not worried about at all. The Arachnid Enforcer is like the next book, and that one is already like I'm too far in to worry about things now. So it'll just unfold, and these books don't sell enough to make the big corporations nervous, you know.
Sure.
So there's a whole, like, if you're at Heroes Con this weekend, there's like a whole army of kids out there now making their own
And good
parody
for them.
superhero comic books, you know.
Yeah, and good for them. Because I would have seen from, it was actually last Heroes that you had shown me pages from this book, from Savage, from Street Vigilante, right?
Oh yes, yeah, I brought the originals. Shit, that was a year ago.
Yeah, that was.
And I
Wow.
remember you could just tell when somebody's enthusiastic on working on something, right?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
And
yeah.
those pages just showed it, man. They were so dang nice.
Nice.
You know,
Thank
so
you.
really, really well done. I hope that enthusiasm is transferable to the next thing, and I think it's the most respectful middle finger to the people who would never allow, not just you, but us who are like, yeah, I would love to be able to draw that, but there's just no way we're going to get that phone call. So you're like, screw it, I'm just going to do the thing, you know? That's amazing.
Yeah, it's like if they used to have that Legends of the Dark Knight title, and they would let weirdo artists do stuff in that book. Like I have some stuff like Mick McMahon from Judge Dredd did a crazy ass like cubist style 3-issue series. You know, Mignola famously did his one shot in '93 with Legends of the Dark Knight. That's
That was.
it's referred to as the first Hellboy comic book, even though Hellboy's not in it. But it's Mignola going, can I just plot and design the book? And then Dan Raspler did the script, but it's Mignola going, I want to draw creepy shit, cemeteries, old buildings, gothic horror, and Batman just so happens to be in it.
Right.
And that like triggered an entire new career for Mignola, being able to be that free.
Yeah. Yeah. I think on a personal level too, right? You're not just on a professional one. He realized, hey, wait, I could do this. I just have to find a reason to do this.
Right. He's like, I can write.
Yeah.
Dude, speaking of Mignola, Jason, you worked on Abe Sapien, right?
Yeah.
Oh, that's right.
When was that, dude?
Ooh, now it's so many years ago.
Okay.
It is a lot of years ago.
10 years ago, maybe?
Yeah, that sounds right.
Yeah. And
And
that was
that
just
sounds like it's pretty good, right? Shay?
What?
The experience of doing a Mignola book.
Oh, Mike was great. The I mean, this was like that thing. I was told, someone told me that there's scripts now, but I was working with him back when he didn't write scripts. He did everything by hand. So it was cool to get like these emails that were actually scans of his faxes to Dark Horse. Of like legal paper where there's just tons of thumbnails and all the dialogue was written by hand on the right.
Holy cow.
Nice.
That's awesome.
And he's been great since. Like I connect with him every once in a while if I have like like when I first did Empty Zone through when I first did the first one through Image. I hit him up and I was just like, I'm nervous. And and he wrote me back and he emailed me back and he was just like, man, nobody needs another fucking Batman book. He's like, do your idea and see if it has legs. I'm like, okay.
Right.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
So he's a huge proponent of just make your own thing. And I love that.
Jason, technically the very first Empty Zone was with Furious Publishing.
Well, the first Empty Zone was self-published, and then the first one I through another publisher was Serious Entertainment.
Yeah, that's right. Okay. Because and this is not disrespectful, but I have found those in dollar bins over the last couple of years.
That's
and
awesome.
I have
That's
like,
awesome.
I have like every empty zone floppy comic book, from the image shit to your OG.
Awesome.
So like I have your whole career in my long boxes here. It's awesome.
It's a weird to be reminded. I was talking to somebody the other day. It's weird to be reminded, if you've been at this for a moment actively, that like, yeah, it's been almost 30 years. And so I'm like, oh shit, there's a lot of comics. So no, and I get excited like when I know that there's something if I find something in the dollar bin, I feel like I'm a part of it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The dollar bin is like you're in comics history. You know
Yeah.
it's not.
That's your graduation badge right there. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
It's not a.
I'm like grinning from ear to ear. I love it.
Yeah. And it's funny because like there's hidden treasures in the dollar bin that collectors don't care about it, because collectors want like mint condition old comics. But if you're an artist and you dig in dollar bins, you can find fucking gems, man. Like you can find amazing stuff, you know. So
what are there the ones that you guys rebuy? Like anytime I'm at a comic shop and I'm flipping through bins, I pick up like Texiera, Ghost Riders, and McFarlane Spider-Mans.
For me, anytime I see that Kevin Nolan Outsiders book, that annual that he did.
Oh my God, it's in my little spindle in my office.
Yeah, I don't care if it's in dollar bins. I don't care if it's hanging up on some guy's wall. That can't stay for sale for very long if I'm around it. I've got to buy it.
Oh, that's a good one.
Yeah.
All right, the one. Let me get the camera, Jamie. I'm going to show you guys. This is the one I'm always picking up if I find it.
Yes, I was just flipping through that.
Dude.
this
is the one.
Yeah. But that specific printing, because the other one's in color,
the black and white. Yeah, the black and white printing that IDW put out.
That's the best thing Zafino ever did.
Yeah, I agree. It's my favorite. I think it's my favorite Chuck Dixon thing too.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
This is a great read. This is a really good read.
We got a little super chat there.
Oh, yeah, that is Chris Pierce. Thank you for the super chat, homie.
Thank you, man.
Thank you, Chris.
Thank you for hanging out while you're at work. Really appreciate it.
Hell yeah.
Hey, Shawn, do you always stream with your images sideways? Is that by design? I'm never here.
No, it's just this camera, the setup. I'm switching my entire setup so that I can have a better way of doing it. But yeah, I can do it this way. If I do it this way, it's in my face now. My camera's in my face.
Oh, I gotcha.
So
right. I thought you were just giving the Inkpulp crowd, a little bit of a challenge to understand what you're trying to do. So
a little bit of a challenge.
Yeah. Just walking them through the paces of your brain.
Wait, Eric, are you drawing anything?
I'm drawing. No, I'm drinking this little cocktail.
Get to work.
He's drawing the end of his sobriety.
Jason, are you doing any stuff that you can talk about with McFarlane? Are you guys working on a new production?
Yeah, he announced it for this year, but unless we really kick it into a different gear, it'll probably be early next year. We're doing a 6-issue miniseries of The Freak.
Yes, that's right.
Yeah.
Okay. And if anybody, for people that know my stuff, it's this one is more. It's more painted like Blackula, and so it's like
that's gonna be awesome.
It's just a straight horror book.
Dude, that's cool.
Yeah, they just asked me to
look up. I had to look up what that was, man. I found the toys for it. Wow.
What, The Freak?
Yeah.
Yeah, no, it's a weird character, and he killed them all, and so then as he was trying to expand the Spawn universe, he asked me to like bring all of these dead villains back and make them all kind of zombified, and I really went at The Freak, and people seemed to like it, and and so then now we're doing the series.
Cool. Very, very cool.
That's awesome. Do you still have some Spawn originals, those ridiculous oversized original pages, man?
Yeah.
Shut up, Jim. Shut up.
I mean that in a good way. I mean that in a good way.
In the most complimentary way, they were obnoxiously large. I've seen when you're taking photos of your studio. I think this was a while back. I don't think it was any time recent. But I would see Spawn pages hanging up on the wall or on your desk, and I'm like, that's just showing off now. That's not necessary, right? Or was it necessary? You tell me. What was the decision making behind the oversized pages?
At that time I was still doing a lot of painting, and so I didn't like working small. I literally just like using my whole arm and standing and working that way. So it's
like
just
an
it
artiste.
felt better, like an artiste. But now it works. But yeah, though when I was doing close to like Spawn 300, the biggest pages I have, because it's ridiculous, I was doing like 18 by 24 pages to try to amp those up, and I was like, oh, there's a 2-page spread. So and because I was really just head up my own ass, I was like, you know what, I'm not even going to do this as 2 pieces of paper. So I went and ordered paper that was like an 18 by 24 double page spread. It was 24 by 30 40 math. So and so then I did it. And so I was like, well, this will never fit in a portfolio or on a plane or anywhere else. So there's 2 of those spreads that exist that are still here.
That's awesome.
Wow.
Purely from the logistics side, people probably wanted them, but you're like, there's just no way for me to ship this out to you.
Yeah, it's just one of the few times where I was like, I'll admit scale bit me in the ass on that one.
Yeah.
Like there was no need to do
from
that.
It, pal. we all benefited from the art. Is it just because it's muscle memory for you, Jay? Like you just like painting big, and it doesn't make sense to do them smaller?
As far as painting goes, I absolutely like working big. I just don't. I guess I just don't like noodling. But for drawing, I could see. I guess since I've been digital and gotten used to the screen, I could. I've done more 11 by 17 like I don't do huge commissions anymore. I can do smaller ones now and not feel like but I can work smaller when it comes to drawing, but painting I still like working big.
Right on. Shawn, does that make you angry? It sounds like you're angry. I can feel through the microphone. Yeah.
What are you talking about?
Like digital people suck. I can almost hear you saying it.
No, I never said that.
All right. I said it on your behalf. Did we miss anything in chat? Did we miss anything? It just seems like work is so large would require more time and resources to complete. That's probably not accurate, right?
I was going to bring up this question quickly for Shawn, sorry. Shawn, I may have missed it, but is there a way to change the backing to the Heroes tier to get a printed copy of Cyan and then connected it to Magenta?
Wait, put that up again? I mean, but is there a way to change the backing to the Heroes tier? Oh, yeah. So you just pay if all you did was get Cyan, just cancel that pledge and then just pledge at the Heroes tier, or you can do the add-on. And the add-on for the prints. Now, to get Magenta, we need the campaign to hit 35K. That's when the Magenta that's the stretch goal, and that's when that gets unlocked and available, the printed sketchbook. So if you could do an add-on for the prints and you'll be fine. Or you could just cancel your pledge, but I think financially you'll do better if you got the Inkpulp community discount, just doing the prints as an add-on. Because anyone who has the prints will get the free sketchbook as long as we get that campaign up to 35K.
There was another question in there too, Jamie. I think it's a couple before the Comic Tropes one, which is glad to catch you guys live when I can. Great stuff. Has there been any news on the old Inkpulp Gumroad vid prices with SGM, Kennedy, etc.?
Yeah, so those are no longer available. I had to keep them there because people had purchased them, and in order for them to have access there, I had to keep them there. But the prices I just bumped up so people wouldn't buy them because I want people to come. I gave the videos back to the creators for them to do what they want with. And my videos are on my website now.
Oh yeah, and my video is on my YouTube page.
Yeah, Jim put his video up on his YouTube page. I don't think Shawn did anything with his. Eric, you didn't do anything with yours. Ramon has plans for his. I don't think Tommy did anything with his. Jeff DeCal had plans for his. But yeah.
Somebody also said, I actually heard Eric Canetti say, it's weird saying my last name. Eric Canetti say in a stream of his from 4 years ago that he had good friends in Shawn and Mateo. All right, I don't know how long AI has been around.
Wow, Eric said those words?
And ChatGPT has been here for a minute, so that may be false information. Show me that video, I'll flag it for copyright. So
handle that.
Yeah, I gotta get my act straight on this one. Am I not drawing? Should I be drawing? I thought I was just hanging out with you guys.
That's the idea.
A lot
I
of
love
questions.
Jason. What kind of white do you have in that aqua brush there? Is that just like a white ink?
Wash.
Yeah.
Blah, blah, blah.
Oh, I see what you're doing. Okay, awesome.
Jason, I saw speaking of Mignola, I saw the Mignola documentary recently, and you're one of the talking artists in it. You're one of the talking heads in the Mignola doc.
I am.
How was that?
That one was really, really fun. And it was one of those few times where I'm like, hey, I did a thing and I wasn't that nervous. I don't feel like I was an idiot. And I got a call from the producer and they were like, hey, the other people or finance people are like, saw the footage and they're like, hey, who's this guy? Like, maybe like we should show some interest maybe in him. And then he was like, so I'll call you at some point and we'll have kind of like a little kind of interview just to kind of get to know you and what you're about. And then he kind of asked me some vague questions and I felt like, oh shit, we accidentally just did the interview and I botched it. And then I just never heard from anybody again. So so I was interested. Okay. I was interesting to people for like a minute. So I thought that was kind of cool. But yeah, we went to they did a premiere in LA. I would say probably it felt like a few months before the actual thing came out. And
nice.
And it was cool to see. It was neat.
Yeah. It's a well done documentary.
Are you talking about Drawing Monsters, that one?
Yeah.
No,
and his new stuff is so cool. I love that he's doing so much non-helpful. Like he's just doing stuff again.
Yeah.
Dude,
his stuff is now getting so loose and rubbery. Like he's not using rulers at all, except for the panel borders. So all of his buildings, all of his stuff, it's getting.
It looks like it's like all made out of like his reference is like loose maquettes or something. These little clay sculptures.
Yeah.
But you know what? The one thing though, I saw this work of his for a show in New York, and it was some of the best watercolors I've seen him do.
Oh, we went to that show.
We went to that show.
Yeah, that was amazing.
The one that's recent, just now.
Yeah, last New York Comic Con.
Yeah.
No, wait. I thought he just turned in some stuff. I think he's doing a new show. Yeah, because these are new smaller pieces.
Oh, he's doing. Wow. He might be doing October again, and then Paul Pope has a show up at that same gallery right now.
That's what
is
he's
that
doing.
where Pope's show is? Okay.
Yeah.
Nice.
So I wish I could go see that.
Yeah.
Show, man.
Oh, do you know how long it's up, Jim?
I don't know. I mean, I'm assuming just a month or two. I don't know.
I'll be up there in August. I might go if it's up.
Oh shit! Okay, check it out if you can.
Yeah, I would love to.
Yeah, Dean Haspiel, who's been on our show before, he was posting photos from the opening.
I saw that. Yeah.
So I'm sure they chose some really incredible pieces from Paul's collection. He's got a serious history of work, you know.
You say Paul like you guys are close. It sounds like you guys are close, Jim.
Yeah, we've known each other for many years.
That's so cool.
I used to go out partying with him and John Cassaday, rest in peace. I used to go fucking paint the town red in Manhattan with those guys, man. Like Paul was dating a very famous burlesque dancer, and we would go to her nightclub, and John Cassaday was definitely a ladies' man, and I'll just leave it at that. And I had great adventures with those guys. It was awesome.
That sounds amazing.
Yeah, really.
Yeah.
Well, Jay, I mean, that was my party era, Jason, which you remember that era in LA. You remember.
I even for conventions, I sort of miss certain parts of that, but I have to say I don't.
I think one of the last things was like your bachelor party in Vegas, which we won't talk about, but
No.
that was one of the last, like all of us going out and just being complete animals.
Insane.
Just complete
Just
degenerate.
I haven't done that in so long.
Yeah.
No.
And Jason, that's when I was doing my Los Angeles Inkstains comic strip.
Yeah.
And I remember you being like, you better carefully document this for Inkstains. You better just like leave most of the night out. Just don't even. I did like a PG version of your bachelor party in the Inkstains comic.
You included the bachelor party.
The problem was he included the bachelor party. Thank you, Eric.
But it was like a cute. It was like we got in our suits and ties and went to Vegas, and then some crazy shit happened, and the next day we were hungover at Denny's, and Herbert puked in the bathroom at Denny's, and then we got on the road, drove back to LA. That was the PG version. That's it.
Mm-hmm.
Halloween weekend too. Halloween weekend.
He's not co-signing on any of that stuff at all. I just heard plausible deniability.
The very few things that were included, my wife looks up at me and like, really?
Oh shit.
So I'm like, yeah, no, that's just my friend Jim just telling everybody what we did in Vegas.
That's artistic license. Those things may or may not have happened.
That's your bachelor party spoof comic is what that
right is. That's gonzo journalism, Jay. That may or may not have happened. You know the deal. But hey, everybody survived. We all made it back home.
Yes, I was happy I wasn't one of the ones thrown up in there. Yeah, but yeah, I don't have that relationship with booze anymore either.
Right.
I don't think none of us do, thankfully.
Yeah,
I do. I picked it up recently.
Eric's just starting.
You're just getting into it.
You guys are way ahead of me now. I'm like, I'll catch up with you guys in a little bit.
Like I haven't left booze. We don't hang out as much as we used to.
Yeah, no, I have a drink or two. That's how I go. No, 3 at most.
I keep my John Lee Hooker rules for the bar. It's 1 bourbon, 1 scotch, and 1 beer. And I'm like, well, that's perfect.
Yeah, that's about right.
There you go.
And even that, like, that's a hard fight for that beer now. since I've been primarily a pothead versus a booze hound.
Yeah, you fully converted to the
the no hangover thing was a huge draw.
The sweet Chiba.
The no damaging yourself.
The objectivity and less emotion was a huge draw.
Now, Jason, though, when we were in LA and Carlson and I would be outside the bar smoking a fat joint, you'd be like, "You fucking hippies, get that stinky stuff away from me."
Yes.
And you'd be drinking your, Glenlivet on the rocks or whatever, and we're like, "Come on, man, get high with us, Jason, man." And you'd be like,
Wait.
"Fuck that, I'm not doing that."
Yeah.
And then
Yeah.
I leave Los Angeles, and you become the third Cheech and Chong member. Oh shit, Danny Earl's in the chat. Danny Earl.
Oh, Danny, what up, dude?
We love you, dog. Thank you for the super chat, homie.
Yeah, thanks, Danny. Dude, have you been seeing the work he's been doing lately?
Dude, Danny's
incredible. On
incredible.
Fire.
Love his work, man.
So good.
Yeah, he's not afraid to put in the work, man. It's
Oh,
amazing.
but so Shawn, you know what happened though with Danny, right?
What?
He came on our show, Inkpulp Live.
Oh,
and
yeah, of
the
course.
magic inspiration from the
That's
two
right.
of us, we
That's right.
inspired him to be an even greater artist
That's true.
than what he was on the road to do. So
You know what that's called, Jim? That's called the
magic of-
Inkpulp effect.
I was gonna say the magic of Lucky
I'm
Charms.
sorry. Say that again.
We got to throw in some Irish jokes. We got to throw in.
Jamie, that was Irish. Don't worry, buddy.
I'll let it pass, Shawn. I'll let it pass.
Well, wait, Shawn, you're saying it's the what effect now?
The Inkpulp effect, Aaron.
Mm.
It's the Inkpulp effect. You'll feel it.
I
feel
think
it.
yeah, no, I thought I didn't hear it.
But we, I think we helped Danny on his journey. So
Yeah, sure.
come back to the show anytime, Danny. We love you, dude. We're just joking
Yeah, we
around.
gotta-
We're just fucking around.
We do have to have Danny back.
Yeah.
And I love his enthusiasm for all the work he's doing and all that came before him, and
Oh
he's
man.
not afraid to put in the time. Danny said, "Always the Lucky Charms. I eat them with whiskey, not milk."
Yes.
That's awesome.
There we go. There we go.
We are definitely getting a dinner with Danny in New York, by the way.
Oh, is he gonna be there?
Yeah, he's gonna be there. We've been talking about
great.
definitely having we might make it an evening with the Irish lads.
Oh shit. Well, that's gonna be a drunken night. That's gonna be
Yeah,
that's already trouble.
yeah. And I think dinner with the Irish lads means no food.
Wait, who are the other?
Declan,
Oh,
and Danny. Yeah,
Fuck yeah, dude. I love Declan.
yeah. That'd be a good dinner.
That's the last time I got really, really drunk was in February in Greece with Declan Shelby and Tula Latte and Jock and all those kids.
Say no, you
But
and the Brits.
Declan and
you
I
the
got-
Brits went hard.
We got trash, dude. I don't even know what we were talking about, but we had an absolute blast. It was fun.
Yeah, I was jealous. That sounds fun. That whole trip sounded fun.
And then we watched some 70-year-old men from Britain do a hip hop performance at that nightclub.
Oh
Jim
shit!
and-
I've seen those guys on social media.
Yeah.
Jim saw them live in Greece.
Where in Greece were you?
Athens.
Dude, that's all. Well, they brought Denora and I out. I think it was I want to say it was either a couple of months before I saw that you were headed out.
That's right.
Yeah,
That's right.
It was. I remember this.
So
That is the best goddamn city.
yeah. So Jay, you did the bigger convention, right? It was like more of a traditional Western.
Yeah,
it was a big show. It was a big show, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, it was a big show. I mean, it was a medium-sized show for here.
Yes.
But yes, it was their big show. Sorry. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Because I did the more smaller. It was more of like almost like an art festival, and it was still comics, but it was more indie, self-published and stuff, and it was so great. It was so fun, man. I had a blast. I didn't want to come home. I was like, I could just stay here. It's all good.
It was, dude. I'm with you. Like that was one of the few times where like we've been out. They hosted us really well and treated us great. But it was like literally everybody in the city. Like Nora would ask directions, and then the person inevitably was asking if we were having a good time, if we needed advice on where to go.
Right.
Everybody was just crazy friendly. It was nice.
Yeah, really warm people. It kind of reminded me of Italians, or being in Italy. I just found everybody to be very warm and jovial, and
they all loved being Greek.
Yes, yeah.
They love being Greek, and they love their food.
The other funny thing, man, is Greek people. You know, the Greek goddess thing. All the women are dark and attractive, and like at this comic festival, man, since it was lots of young kids in their 20s making their own comic books and stuff, they were all like hot kids. They were all, you know, attractive people. Like, none of you guys are awkward nerds. You're all fucking handsome and super hot, like macho Greek dudes and sexy Greek girls making your comic books. Like, how does this make sense? This can't be a real thing. This is not.
It exists. We were on like day 2, and we were on some tour, and we were noticing that, and we were both like looked at each other and we're like, Greek goddess. Oh, and I was just like, that's insane.
Yeah.
If anybody if you can make it to Greece as a vacation or as a destination, that is fucking amazing.
Yes.
It's not a letdown.
Yeah. I'll hopefully be going back next year. Hopefully the whole crew next year.
Yeah, mine was a one and done. Like unless I paid my own way, like they were like, no, we only do this once.
Okay, yeah.
To bring you out.
Do you have any conventions this year? Are you doing?
Nope.
Okay. So just a work year.
Just a work year.
I like how we say just a work year.
Right? Like
that's 7 days a week.
On
That's
all
7
this
days a week,
shit.
bro. Yeah, that's 7 days a week. You're still working though, you know.
Yeah, no, I was already in the office when this came about.
Yes.
But it's one of those where like the grind is double right now. The grind is because I'm trying to do something more than just, you know, do a gig and a page rate. It takes that whole extra time that you don't have, but you know, it doesn't get handed to you. So
Right.
But you know, with my wife and I, like, she's an actor at home, but she has her own office and her own other side businesses and stuff. So we're respectful and make sure like I still work at home a couple of days a week and all that stuff. But yeah, no, it's but that said, like it's weird. Like I'm gonna be I'll hit my 50 mark in September. And
I just did that. Yeah.
Congrats. Yeah, I know. I saw you, and then I saw Shawn's video. I saw the handstand, so I was like, "Oh,
yeah,
yes,
yeah." I'm getting well into the 50s at this point.
What does that mean, Shawn?
Wait.
What does it mean for you you're well getting into the 50s?
I'm not like I'm 53 now. I'm no longer just 50. Like I'm
you're early 50s still.
Early 50s. Early 50s. Yeah. Thank you for making me feel better.
Dude, you're doing a handstand like
yeah, no, that's
you
true.
You don't need me making you feel better.
I'm fighting the fight. I am fighting the fight.
It's an odd idea, you know, not being a kid anymore, because I still feel like an irresponsible idiot most of the time.
Yeah, in my head. Yeah, exactly.
I still think I'm 30, but I'm like, you're not 30 anymore, dude. You know, you need to wise up and quit wearing that X-Men t-shirt every day.
Hey,
I don't know.
Keep wearing that X-Men t-shirt, dude.
I will, honestly. I will.
Yeah, that's what I was like. I started reintroducing, you know, cartooning into my work and stuff I was doing at the beginning. I'm having the best time I think I've ever had making comics. Like I'm doing, you know, double time, but like it's all projects that are amazing. I mean, they're all projects that are just fun as shit. You know?
Oh yeah, that's
important. I do feel better about my art than I ever have at this point.
Yeah.
I think that's good. As long as I can keep that going, I think I'll be things will be good.
Yeah, some of the Scrooge stuff is, I mean, it's a different case altogether, but it's as far as like what I do, but it's some of my best stuff, and I'm growing from it. So
Yeah, that's it.
As long as that keeps happening, I guess that's
That's the key. Oh,
Yeah.
dude, what is that? Olu said Shawn is the same age as my old man. That's fucked up.
It's not, but it's not
Yeah.
untrue, you know.
No, but why you gotta say it? Why you gotta put it out there? Now it's on the video forever.
To be fair, you're the one that read it out loud. You know what I mean? You could have just let it pass really quick and like.
Yeah, no, I can't just let it pass.
Shawn is the
a
same
motto,
age as my
actually.
holy cow, you're old.
Amato, we are having your local comic shop on the podcast this week. So thank you for suggesting that. Amato goes to a comic shop that's won Eisner Award for best shop, and they're gonna come on the podcast with Jim, Mateo, and I this week to talk about some retailer stuff.
Nice.
Yeah, Blackbird Comics. Yeah, we're I'm very excited for this. So, guys, I put it in the Discord. If you have questions that you'd like to see us ask them, please put it in the Discord under a podcast questions area. Because we're looking to have a really good conversation with David and Candace for sure.
And if you're not already in the Discord, the link is in the description.
Thank you, Jamie. That's a
Jamie,
pro right there. Jamie's a pro.
Earning his big bucks, dude.
Wait, Jamie, we have to say we always forget to say things. What is it we're supposed to say? Oh, you guys are doing great commenting. So please continue to comment, and we gotta do the like, subscribe, and comment thing. Yeah, that's what we have to do.
Yes. Yeah.
Shaden's good too. Shaden's caring.
Sharing. Okay, share. Yeah, let the world know. Share the podcast. Share Jim's Kickstarter pre-launch page. Share Jason Shawn's Zoop page. Share my Kickstarter page. Share Eric's website. Let's share.
Let the people know.
Let the people know.
Let your grandma know.
It's been a while since I've actually done this show. At least the Inkpulp one. Shawn, is the podcast?
We're just on
now?
it. What are you talking? We just did He-Man last week.
You were just on.
That was okay. Anyway, but my point is, it's been like, is the podcast legitimate now? Has it?
It was
is
always
that a thing?
legitimate. Yeah, it was always legitimate.
I could argue otherwise, but is it legitimate now? Because it seems like when we were doing it, it was just like a couple of webcams and calling it a day. But you guys are so professional now.
Oh, this is coming from the guy who has the most expensive professional setup. Let's give Eric the screen here.
I'm trying to,
Jamie. Let's show the people we're
trying
talking
to
about.
just
You've got
keep up
two
with it.
lightsabers. You're in the Death Star, I think, right now.
Listen, I turned that shit blue in respect to you. I could just.
I know.
easily
I do
turn it off,
appreciate
you know
that.
what I mean?
No, because typically they're red. Because Eric likes to show his Sith Lord self.
Just easier on the eyes. It complements my green eyes when it's red.
Hey, Jason, what's up with Empty Zone? New stuff is coming, or where you
getting
at?
there? God damn it!
He's got so
Nice.
defensive so quickly.
It's hard.
Like
I mean,
a
like,
person
I
who's
think
talked to me about it. Goddamn.
everybody-
Yeah, I want to see it. I want it to happen.
Yeah,
you
I'm
know?
stoked. I feel like we're all trying to find ways to do our comics and still make a living as an artist while doing so. It's a tricky thing to do.
It's just for image for an image thing. It's just hard to nail down 3 full issues before they distribute. So
that's right. That's right.
Oh, is that a new practice? A new-ish practice of theirs?
No.
Go ahead.
It's been going for like almost 10. Like
Okay.
I got in with the 1 issue rule for Empty Zone originally, but now it's been 3 issues. I think at least over 7 years.
Yeah, because they did that. I mean, maybe it was because Eric didn't trust me, but in 2017, with my Girl Scout series, Magic Socks, he was like, dude, we need the first 3 issues completely done, lettered, colored, before we even talk about soliciting issue 1. It's like we can't do late books anymore. It just isn't even an option. So 3 issues in the can, and then we'll figure out your schedule for the year.
Oh wow. Yeah.
All right, that's cool.
But that's cool though, right? Like,
But dude, I mean, I did 6 issues and none of them were late. Like I delivered 6 months of steady material that, that for an indie comic, that's nothing to scoff at.
Yeah.
It's like, okay.
Jim's a pro.
Cool. But yeah, you can't have like a late book in this market. The retailers will just give up on you. And
Yeah. So I'm not I like having that many issues in the can. It's just getting them in the can.
Yes. Yeah.
But they're getting there. There was kind of a break. There was something that happened that made Scrooge hop into the priority line. But after this thing is done, the work will be finished within the next week, and so then we go into actual production and all that kind of or whatever. But then it'll just be like Freak and Empty Zone.
Nice. Okay.
Yeah. It just like working the way I do though. I'm like, I'm never used to just saying like one day I would like it to be maybe just 1 or 2 projects at the same time.
Yeah, man.
By design that you're sort of juggling a handful. Jay.
Yeah, I'm mostly kids.
Right.
A lot of irons and a lot of different fires though. That's kind of the key is I'm not trying to do a billion comics. I'm trying to do multiple things and multiple whatevers. But yeah, that's it. keeps you busy.
Oh yeah, and things are wrapped with Rodney Barnes right now. Or you guys are Philadelphia is done.
It's on hiatus, and we just got the budget greenlit for an independent project, comics project together, but I can't say anything about it.
Oh, nice.
I like when you guys team up, man. Dude,
Same.
how many trades are there of Philadelphia? Is it 4?
6.
6. Holy shit! What the hell? Okay.
35 issues.
God damn, man! Wow.
That's
You've produced a lot.
Buddy.
You've produced a lot of material, man.
Yeah, within the last couple of, shit. Yeah, I was looking at my shelf the other day. In between, I have 5 Spawn trade paperbacks, and I have 6 Philadelphias.
Damn! Wow.
I'm grinding more now, but I love the work. It's the fun stuff.
Yeah. And dude, the Blackula one shot that you guys did, I love that.
That's great. That was
so
great.
good.
That was so fun.
Yeah. It looked like you had a lot of fun with that one. I mean, all your stuff, but that one in particular is like.
Yeah, all this stuff is fun. Like there was Scrooge has actually kind of forced it, but there was a moment last year when I was told somebody was kind of like my magical validation moment where I hit a thing where I'm like, all right, I feel like I've established myself enough. Where I said, I told Noid, I was like, I quit asking when I'm working on a drawing or something now, I stopped asking if it's good and I started asking if it's cool. And I was just like, holy shit, that changed everything for me. Because I'm like, oh, it is good, but like it's not exciting or cool. And I'm just like, well, make it that way. So since then, that's why I've been cartooning more and all that, because I'm like, I want to draw cool shit.
Yeah.
I don't need it all to be fucking photorealistic.
Oh yeah, yeah. It's finding the balance, right, for your own style. It's just like that can be a tricky thing. Like you can't teach how to do that. You have to figure it out for your own work,
Yeah, I told Sherrod the other day. I was like, I want to experiment with my style looking like a cross between Tex Avery and the movie Pi.
Wow.
Only you could do that, dude. Only you could do
Yeah,
that.
I could see that. Jim, how would you? Is there like a way you could describe what you do? Like crossbreeding two things?
Shit. Man, I'm not sure. I mean, to me, it's like, you know,
You're
American comic style on LSD, I guess. Or
okay, all right. So
but I'm also looking at so much manga and other stuff.
Right.
I think I have a good fusion going of like more than two things. You know, several things happening with my stuff.
All right, that's fair.
Yeah, there's some. Yeah, I could dissect your stuff because I've known it for so long. But there's I was telling Crosland this the other day. I was like, there's genuinely when I do find myself getting really like stuck or feeling like I've been hampered, I will go over there and pull out. I think specifically Mahfoud's coloring book. But I'll go and look at that thing because I was like, there is nobody in comics that is more free than Jim Mahfoud. Like that motherfucker is not restrained by anything. No rules. No, it should be this way. And I'm like, so when I look at your book to give me that kind of like, oh yeah, fuck it.
Right. That's a huge compliment. Thanks, dude. Thank you.
It's great. I'm just like, there's nothing that I've ever seen that constrains this motherfucker. And I was like, he literally just goes at like, oh, do you want to draw a character you've never drawn? And he just puts pen to paper, like, let's figure it out. And I love it. I love it.
That's exactly how the RZA describes ODB. So, Jim, are you the ODB of comics?
Yes, I am now. Yes.
All right.
ODB of comics.
Jim buzzed in so fast. Jim, do you understand what he's trying to say?
Oh my god! Except for the going to prison part, and
right. Yeah. We don't want that part.
I show up next time you see me. I've got like his hairstyle.
Dude, Ryan just said Jim equals Bill Sienkiewicz plus Powerpuff Girls.
That's not bad.
Interesting. Okay.
That's pretty good.
Okay.
Ryan's a dope artist.
Ryan Barry is the shit. 9 Monkeys.
Yeah,
everybody
Ryan.
check out his work. Oh my god.
You guys definitely check out Ryan. He's
so good.
Jim has the style that other people want to say I'm a cross between Mahfoud and that's an OG. That's awesome.
Oh,
that's
a good
compliment. Jim's the bastard son of Kirby and Stedman. Wow, that's a good one.
I'll take that too.
That's a good one.
I'm just gonna leave the stream now. I'm done with my work.
Yeah. I think
gotten all the great compliments. Like I'm out.
Yeah, it's time. Yeah, go out on top.
Always leave them wanting more, you guys. Always leave them wanting more.
What are you, George Costanza now?
Yeah, I was gonna say that episode of like.
I live by that episode.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure I got married by that episode. My wife was a bartender at the time, and I told her, I'm like, every time I would go into that bar and you were working, for whatever reason, I was on. I didn't say stupid shit. I didn't fuck up. And I was like, and I realized it. And when I realized I had said something just right, so that was cool, I would leave.
Dude, we saw it happen because we would drink there on a regular basis. And it got to the point where Crosland and I were like, dude, are you going to talk to that girl or not? Like, what's going on with it? And you were like, it's on the download, dude.
I was working on it. And that was the first time I'd ever been like, subtle and smart about trying to meet somebody. It was like everything aligned that I was my best person, but I also knew to get the fuck out of there because I can talk too much. I can do that one thing.
Which is rare, but it.
No, just if you can leave on top and like leave that person thinking nothing but positive thoughts, do that.
Yeah. And now you have children. Now there's kids.
Now I got them kids.
It's amazing. Is your son still fascinated with the makeup stuff? I love when you guys post the because you have a background, man. When you were a kid, right? When you were a teenager, you were pursuing practical makeup because of your obsession with like horror and Tom Savini. Am I out of line saying that?
Oh, right.
Yeah, no, I wanted to be a special effects artist before I found comics, I guess. But no, my son, like just out of YouTube or whatever, like his interest in his interest in makeup and stuff really kind of came. I can't necessarily say it came a lot from my stuff, but like he digs that. He's like a little performer, and then but now he's been drawing his ass off.
Oh, cool.
For the last little while, and it's one of those where I guess every parent will say that, but I was like, he's getting really good. Like he draws these fucked up monsters that his sister lets him watch. God damn it. On YouTube, and so it's like these things called Poppy Playhouse and stuff, and it's just these terrible this thing called Huggy Wuggy that is like a blue tall plushie with like rows of sharp teeth.
Okay.
Yeah, and he legitimately actually has the plushie because I'm not a great father.
Right.
but he could draw the shit out of it. And now on Minecraft, he's watching these videos and mimicking them building these characters in these huge structures. So he got something going on. It's just cool to watch.
Okay. Shit. Okay. Yeah.
That was a lot, but I was just like, they're neat. These kids are like ever growing and evolving, and it's really fun to watch.
That's cool, man. Yeah, it's
these guys know. Shawn knows.
Yeah. I had a little gallery opening last night. Me and Steph and the kids went down, and there's this art group like getting off the ground called High Contrast here in Atlanta, and I think my kids are going to start going to their drink and draws and getting in with that scene a bit, which is good. I'm stoked.
That's cool.
Hell yes.
Very stoked for that.
Yeah, if you can do it, get around some other people and make a night of it, you know?
Yeah, totally.
That's cool.
Yeah, it was kind of cool. Like, it was a really fun night. We went out to dinner with Raz. We went to this Korean punk rock restaurant. It's these brothers. Jim, you got to go to this place. It's legit Korean food, but it's in like a punk rock bar.
Oh, that's perfect. Yeah.
It's awesome. Okay. So we went there. We fucking tore up some shoju there. And then we rolled over. We had a good time.
Did you see K-pop Demon Hunter?
No.
Netflix, Sony Animation.
I just saw something about, like, I saw an image from it this morning. I'd never even heard of it.
Holy shit. Is it good?
Oh, really?
Dude, it's amazing.
Image I saw was crazy. I thought it was a joke when someone said K-pop Demon Hunter. I thought someone was just making a joke about it because it was a cool looking image.
My daughter's been waiting for it, and it just came out on Friday.
It's a movie or a series?
Movie.
Oh shit.
Yeah, it's the Sony guys, and it's like they really, like, my wife watches she used to watch a lot of the soap operas, the Korean soap operas.
Yeah.
And she was like, there was a great scene where it just kept referencing one of those, like this multi-angle, like she was like, it hits all these references. It's amazing. I can talk it to where no one wants to see it, but all I can say is, like,
watch it.
Everybody here should watch that thing because the energy and the animation and the story, it was awesome. It was great.
Check it out.
Yeah.
Dude, I'm hearing really good things about 28 Years Later.
Oh, good.
Yeah, that's on my list. That's on my list.
Me and the kids are going to go check that one out. Thank you, Adam. I appreciate it. Thank you for the super chat, and thanks for getting in on the Kickstarter.
Nice.
Yep.
Hey, shout out to Adam Archer, who himself is also a freaking amazing artist.
Oh, Adam Archer. Hell yeah.
Yeah,
Another one of our
Adam's-
homies.
Adam's part of the crew.
The first time that I saw Adam was working the front desk over at Wildstorm way back in the day.
Oh, really?
Oh yeah. Yeah,
Huh.
I think he had just started. I think he had just this was I think pre going into production for himself. He was actually doing stuff all around the office, just sort of a jack of all trades, but I remember running into him for the first time there. Really chill guy, really great attitude, and his perspective about wanting to learn and talk to as many people. He's one of those guys that came around, would ask questions, but was almost a little bit too shy about it because I don't think he wanted to get underfoot, you know?
Right.
And then we lost contact because my career went into animation. We lost contact for a bit. And then just through the natural, organic sort of running into each other again via social media, at that point he had started drawing. And it was incredible. Just to see, like, there's this gap in time where I knew nothing of what he was doing, and next thing you know, he's drawing his own books. I would suggest that each and every single one of you go search it out, go support his
Absolutely.
efforts either via .com or at the very least just go and support him and follow him on his social
Hell
media. Really amazing, whimsical stuff that I think has it's when somebody does stuff quote unquote simple. Like, for instance, let's give a Scotty Young a shout out. When Scotty does something that seems sort of like innocuous and pretty straightforward, you don't know how good it is, right? Because I'll use myself as an example. Like, I'll over-render something and people are like, oh, fuck, look how cool I over-rendered that thing is, right? But when Scotty, and most especially Adam, simplifies and just gets the gesture, right? And inks to service the gesture as opposed to contradicting it, that is a skill and a craft that most people don't know how to achieve. You know, Jay was talking earlier about like, hey, I want to get back into cartooning. Adam has that in spades. So go check it out. Go support his stuff.
Yeah.
Go support his stuff.
Yes.
That's awesome.
We showed off a PDF a couple episodes ago of Adam's new project that looks incredible.
Yeah. We've shown off a lot of Adam stuff.
He's awesome.
Yeah, Michael Lovell just said, and I'm reading this because I was lost in it too. Love the way Jason is carving out the planes in that face. Yeah, I was totally lost watching this, like just dead silent watching you like sculpt that with the hatching and the micron shit. That's awesome.
Oh, thank you.
The fact that his fingers is just dipped in ink, man. My OCD is going nuts.
That's awesome.
Get into it. You got to get into it, man.
Yeah. I'm clearly
That's
not
true.
dedicated enough to have my hands dipped in ink as much as Jay has. Now, here's the thing. I don't think that comes with like inking. I think every morning he gets up, clean fingers, clean hands, goes into a bucket of ink, goes, what's appropriate for today?
Hell
I
yeah.
like it.
Jason doesn't drink coffee. He drinks ink and he stirs it with his finger.
He
It's
drinks
rock and
Or-
roll.
coffee.
Or he paints with the coffee. Like I've seen that happen.
right. Yeah. I bet.
Did we miss anything in chat? Here's one. How would you guys recommend a beginner artist to tackle the fundamentals while working full time? Holy crap. First of all, regardless of what we say, you're going to have to find your way through it. But respect to you for trying to find a way to level up your craft while working at the same time. There's only so many hours in a day. I can't begin to guess what your days look like, but respect to anybody who tries both, because to get anywhere near relevant / good, it's almost a full-time job. And the fact that you're trying to juggle both, respect to you. Guys, answer the question. How would you guys recommend beginner artists to tackle the fundamentals while working a full-time job?
I would say don't make it work. Keep it fun. I mean, obviously time is is limited, but to use the time wisely, I'd be focused. I would take stuff one at a time. Like what do you want to focus on first? Like I don't know how new to drawing you are, but Maybe studying light and shadow and form would be just something to focus on for a little while, or working on gesture and figure drawing for a little while might be the way to go. I would focus. That's my advice. I would focus. Don't be all over the place.
What does he mean by fundamentals?
Yeah, I was going to
Yeah,
ask about
I
that.
assume he means foundations. I'm guessing.
Yeah,
Because foundations, I feel like you almost can't work until you have a certain level. But like I was a working artist when I shared a studio with Kent Williams. I was doing line art, and I was learning and sponging from him the whole time. And I would take projects that I hadn't really been ready for. Like I would take painted short stories and stuff like that. And then I would just, throw myself in the deep end and say, I got to learn this shit and figure it out. So I would do it all through comic work. There's a whole lot of bad stuff out there with me learning.
So, Jason, do you mean those were actual assignments that were handed to you, or you were assigning yourself these projects? Or these were paid gigs you're talking about?
Assignments. I worked on I did the Queen and Country arc when Kent and I shared a studio together.
That's right.
Okay, I remember that.
And so what was going on there was I was literally learning how to shoot reference, because that's what he did. And I was, so Queen and Country was one of the first things I shot model reference for and drew that way. And so, I was learning a lot, but as far as like learning just basically how to draw, I feel like you kind of have to learn that part first.
Yeah.
At least a basic understanding. Like I was learning to advance and like learn how to paint and learn how to draw better. But that's what I meant. Like I didn't understand what he meant by the word fundamentals.
Right.
He might be able to draw and want to cut to the other
gesture, form, shadows, values. Holy crap! So basically, the whole kit and caboodle as far as like the foundational stuff that Shawn was talking about. Here's what I have to zoom out. Here's my big bit of advice. Jim, do you have something to say about that? You go first, because you guys are actually drawing. I'm not.
Oh Lord, you go, Eric, because I don't know. I feel like
here's my, I think it's in line with what Shawn was saying earlier. If you have limited time, you have to be deliberate about how you spend that time. Almost regimented, right? And most importantly, you have to set up exactly what you want to knock off if you had a list. I think kind of waffling about and saying like, today I'll work on hands, tomorrow I'll work on shadow, to the next day after that I'll work on composition. I think you're going to end up gaining a little bit in each, but not being proficient at all of them, right? So really figure out, first of all the things in as far as what you need to do and as far as what you need to accomplish. And the reason why I kind of keep it open like that, because to each individual, it's going to be different. Jay just said, hey, I was learning to be a painter. In case with Shawn, potentially even Jim, it's like, hey, here's the craft and draftsmanship component, the drawing of anatomy that I want to get better at. You figure out what you want to be good at and figure out what you need in order to be good at that thing. And it's if you really think about it, it's a really simple list. It doesn't have to be like, oh, how do you crosshatch, right? Because all crosshatching does is like, how do I help define form and volume? Crosshatching is just one execution of that, right? You could literally do it like Mignola, where it's just all blackened in, or you could be super rendery about it and have it go from like black to gray to white. It all depends, right? But if you really break it down to what you need as far as what your definitions of what fundamentals or foundational is, write that down in a list and be obsessive about it. Because assume for a minute that the time that you give up to where you're working is already off the desk, however many hours those are. So you are left with however much time in your day, let's say conceptually 4 hours. Those are the most precious 4 hours that you have of your day. And you need to be like regimented at how you burn through that 4 hours, because you will burn through it, right? Especially in that early discovery stage, and even more so when you start getting good. You'll burn through 4 hours like it was like 20 minutes. So I say figure out what you want to get good at, write that down in a list, be deliberate about learning it, and dedicate whatever time that you have to learning it in the best way possible.
Yeah, he just expanded on that. He said fundamentals, meaning gesture,
I saw.
form, light, and shadow. Value.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
There's your list, So
yeah, and I would say this: the practice of studying the figure is everything you just mentioned, and I would follow the order of like the animation or Renaissance method of figure drawing, where first start with gestures, start to build out the form with shapes, start to study the volumes, then apply light, shadow, and values. I would recommend maybe getting Glenn Villepeu's Guide to Figure Drawing, because it kind of like follow the order of that book, and it'll kind of really get you focused in on the stuff you want to learn.
Yeah. And to be clear, Shawn, you correct me if I'm wrong. You're not necessarily saying, and it's not a bad recommendation to get Glenn Villepeu's books, right? It is to say like the building blocks of how it gets from point A to point F.
Yeah, it'll give you the
Street,
structure you're looking for. It'll give you the, like you said, you need to focus. This will give you the structure, like the lessons in an order that build on top of each other.
That's it. Yeah, because you want to combo that, right? You want to go from using a Street Fighter reference.
Nice.
Yeah.
Here we go. Stylish Nerd just says, "Damn, Jim, I love that. Sick artwork, Jim."
Thank you,
that
Stylish
did-
Nerd. This was fueled by cocaine and Honey Nut Cheerios. I don't know what that means. I don't know.
Just clip that part.
No, it wasn't fueled by Lucky Charms and whiskey. We know that.
Right. That's Danny Earl's crazy recipe. That's what
Right,
works for Danny. I'm a Honey Nut Cheerios guy.
You're like Omar. You like the
That'll
honey.
be so next time Danny comes on the show, that'll be a thing. We'll all eat cereal and drink whiskey or something. I don't know.
Yeah.
Jim, I know you guys went ahead and read a couple of these things earlier, but look at all those people loving your artwork, man. Jim equals Bilson Cubs and Pop-Up Girls, which, okay. That sounds kind of
All
awesome.
right, guys, we're getting near the end of the stream here. Let's see what everyone did today.
Jim's the bastard son of
before we
Kirby and
say goodbye.
Stedman. Okay, those are all awesome.
Yeah.
All right, there's my little pit painted card.
Pit is a lot.
Nice.
Tiny little pit.
Well done, Bucko. You did it.
Dude, great color. That's great.
Thank you.
It's like you just never wanted to worry about drawing noses.
Yeah, I know.
It's true. It's true.
Jim, you rocked that one out.
Masters of the Universe. I
Dude.
cheated because we started this last show
Wednesday,
Wednesday night, but I definitely wanted to finish it, so we're still going. We're still going.
Yeah, it looks great.
So
Nice.
Joe Risotto, thank
Thanks,
you.
Joe. Jason, that is a beautiful drawing. That is just beautiful.
Nice, man.
Thank you.
Beauty. Can we see the first? Can we see the first piece?
Yeah, there.
There
Oh,
you
look at that.
go.
That's gorgeous too.
Well
Wow.
done.
God
Really
damn,
nice.
man.
With a
So
poster
good.
marker, no less. Respect.
Yeah, that's Jim. I think every time Jim and I
Oh.
see each other at shows, we talk about art supplies, and I think that's a marker that he used. Yeah, that's it.
This guy- yeah,
I got that
Look
guy.
at that chunk, man.
yeah. This is a Montana. This is basically a graffiti marker.
Yeah, I've got
Yeah.
those.
The
baby.
acrylic.
The level of I don't give a fuck that you have to be mentally in a good space with to be just be like, I'm just gonna use this. This works.
Oh
You know
yeah,
what I mean?
yeah,
Respect to the both of you.
yeah.
I'll get there.
All right,
soon.
Eric, what about you? Can we see
Oh,
what
I
you
stopped
did?
drawing a long time ago, you guys. I'm just sitting here drinking this cocktail, watching you guys draw. Jamie manning the black line
right, so-
controls.
I'm trying
Before
my
we
best,
get off
Eric.
of here, guys, please go support Jason Shawn Zoop. Get
Let's
a
bring that
copy
up
of
again, won't you,
Screw.
Jamie? Do you still have that tab open?
Jamie's a pro.
Let's ramp that up. There we go.
Yeah.
There it is.
Yeah. And Jamie, did we put the link in the chat? Did we do that?
I think I saw it.
And
I
by
saw it
we,
earlier.
I mean you.
Yeah, yeah. I put that in a few times. I'll put that in again.
Awesome. Thank you, Jamie. Guys, let's give Jason Shawn some love. This book looks incredible.
I just picked this up yesterday. I got the hardcover collection coming.
Nice.
Well, it's only a hardcover, right? There's no soft cover.
No, yeah, just a hardcover. It's 200 pages, 85 illustrations, 10 by 10 hardcover.
Dude,
thanks you guys for letting me on here.
Dude, thanks for coming on. I'm so stoked that we're doing hardcovers the same exact size. They'll go on the shelf so beautifully next to each other.
Nice.
Yes.
That panel, dude, that illustration of the graveyard, I have been looking at that so much this week. I love that illustration.
Yeah, that's incredible.
That is so gorgeous.
Thanks. We're going to do another art drop tomorrow to show a bunch of illustrations we haven't shown yet. So
Nice.
should be fun.
Beautiful, man. Thank you for joining us, dude. Good talking to you.
Thanks for having me.
Most def. And
guys, see you soon.
sign up.
Hopefully.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. Are you going to New York, Jason?
No. Yeah, no, any traveling. We're doing just family. So I think we're just doing December in Boston.
Nice.
Okay.
Nice.
So I'm just working. I got Freak. I have Scrooge to finish. I have Empty Zone to tackle. And a nice little list of covers on the way.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Good deal, man.
And let's all make sure we sign up for Jim's pre-launch for the Arachnid Enforcer.
Yes.
Get those numbers up. And yeah, I got 8 days left, so get in on this now. Let's get it. Oh shit! Someone just bought something when you did that. That was pretty cool, Jamie. Let's get this up to 35K so everyone can get a free copy of Magenta for my sketchbook.
Oh hell yeah!
Yeah. How many? I still have 4 sketch cards left. So if you like what I did with this pit, you can get a sketch card and a book on that secret tier, only available through the link you can find right here. But yes, it is an exciting time for Inkpulp. And don't forget, you'll get a free copy of Mateo's creator-owned book, the issue number 0, and a preview of Jim's, the Fourth Father. Look at that cover, by the way.
Beautiful.
That motherfucker. God damn.
Right. Every post on Instagram pisses me off of that thing.
Yeah, that's what everyone says. And then let's show Jim's cover. Look at that cover. Hell yeah. So you get the Arachnid Enforcer preview and the printed floppy of Fourth Father number 0 when you pledge to my Kickstarter. So we'll see you in a few weeks. Jim and I have a very special guest coming on, which we're not going to say right now, but you'll probably see a commercial for it. I think this Wednesday, right, Jim?
Top secret. Yeah.
We'll release that information Wednesday.
Why did Jamie just guffaw right now at the idea of like top secret guys? Was that
Me?
you giggling? Yeah.
It wasn't me. I don't laugh, Eric. I've never laughed in my life. Don't
Right.
accuse me of such things.
Fair.
Never once. Sorry.
All right. I guess that's it. We did it, boys. Jason, thank you for coming on. Eric, thank you for coming on. Jim.
Hell yeah, you guys.
always
Thank
a
you.
pleasure. Jamie,
Thank
always
you,
a
Jen.
Thank you.
Really appreciate it.
And Jason, we'll see you Friday.
Anyways,
Yeah,
let's thank everybody who showed up. Thank you,
Yeah,
chat.
thank you.
Thank you, everybody.
Yeah,
for being
thanks
here.
for all the super chats. Thanks for all the good questions. Thanks for hanging with us on a Sunday evening. You guys showed up in numbers. That's been great. Thank you.
Awesome.
Thanks to all the cereal eaters out there. Keep reaching for those stars. Keep reaching for those dreams.
And a special thanks to that lovely Irishman, Danny Earls.
Danny Earls, we love you, buddy.
Peace.
Thanks. Bye.